It's time for Coffee with the Chicken Ladies, a podcast for people who love chickens.
Hey everybody, and welcome. It's Chrisie&Holly from Coffee with the Chicken Ladies. We're here, and this is episode number 250!
Whoa!
Of our podcast, where we talk about everything chicken, family, fun, and
More chickens.
we drink a ton of coffee. I'm talking a ton, but most importantly,
We hug chickens every day.
and we kiss them too, don't forget. We brew coffee from a little coffee roaster in Houston, Texas. Bright and early coffee. Holly Ann, what kind of coffee are we brewing today?
Breakfast blend.
Again, but we got some flavored creamer in there too. So if you are
I don't
not
have any
missing
flavored creamer.
I always do.
Man.
So if you are not drinking this coffee, you are missing out. Where should everybody go to get this fabulous breakfast blend with flavored creamer?
BrightandEarlyCoffee.com.
And if you want K-Cups, go over to Amazon. They sell them there. Follow them on Facebook and on Instagram and use the code CWTCL15 for 15% off bagged coffee. Are you ready to sip some of this delicious breakfast blend?
I am, but first, a word from our sponsor.
We have some exciting news to share from our sponsor, Grubbly Farms. They're here, new and improved, Grubbly's World Harvest.
I'm a longtime subscriber, and my flock love the healthy, nutritious treats, plus orders $40 and more ship free.
If you haven't heard, Grubbly's has a fantastic layer pellet and crumble feed. It's packed with plant and insect protein, perfect for those picky chickens and ducks.
Grubbly Farms makes food and treats for healthy pets and planet.
To support us and Grubbly Farms, use the link grubbly.co/coffee. Try it today. So it's our 250th episode. How are you doing today? Are you feeling energized about this?
No, not in the least. I wrote the episode without even realizing that it was episode number 250. I'm like, yeah,
250!
another week, another episode.
It's a milestone, man. It is a milestone.
Oh yeah,
for us.
it's pretty amazing actually. I mean, yeah, I didn't even think about it, but yes, that's a huge milestone. That's a lot of shows.
That's a lot of coffee. That's a lot of everything.
Oh, my coffee maker died this morning.
What did you do?
Don't worry, I had a backup one brand new in the garage.
So you knew it was coming?
No, I had no idea it was coming.
Oh, well,
I
I'm
keep
glad you had a
backup.
backup.
That's one of the things about living in a rural area. You got to be realistic about when things break, right?
I would say from you, the closest like convenience store to get a coffee would be 30 minutes probably.
No, I could probably get one at the little market.
That one has coffee?
Yeah, they have coffee.
Oh,
in
okay.
a deli. But that being said, you know how I am about my coffee. I need my freshly brewed coffee. So a while ago, I ordered a second coffee maker.
Oh, well, that was good thinking.
It's very frustrating that you can't fix these things. I find it extremely frustrating.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yes, a lot of coffee, and we're doing episode 250 with a brand new coffee maker. Woohoo.
Woohoo! Woohoo! Yeah, 250. It's making me lose my voice.
Oh, you're so
'Cause
excited.
It's so
I'm
much
so excited.
talking
I
that we've
can't-
done.
Can't talk.
I know, and we're coming up on a really big anniversary for the show. In 2 months, we're hitting 5 years.
Wow.
What should we do for our 5-year anniversary? We need people to message us or email us and tell us, how should we celebrate 5 years?
Well, first of all, we need to make a huge cake. And I think, secondly, we probably should do a giveaway.
A giveaway, do you think?
I think so.
Maybe.
I don't know with what, but we can come up with all kinds of fun stuff.
Yeah, we can. We've been coming up with this show for over 5 years, and a lot of people told us you can't talk chickens for 5 years, but we have talked
Clearly,
chickens.
they
for
had
5
never
years.
met us.
You know the reel you sent me the other day of the 2 old ladies on the train?
Yes.
I sent it to you last week.
No, you didn't.
Yes.
I thought it looked familiar.
So that's how you know we're thinking of the same thing. Definitely. And as this comes out, you are racing around to get ready to go to Iceland the following day. So
I'm leaving for Iceland tomorrow.
Yeah.
tomorrow.
As you guys know, we do have to pre-record a little bit because, if not, it'd be bad.
Yeah, right now you guys are listening to this and I'm probably losing my mind. I actually made a packing checklist because so much of this is like wool oriented and knitting.
Yeah.
Plus hiking in Iceland is not like hiking in your backyard. So yeah.
Or in England.
Or in England, right? It's a whole gear list. So yeah.
Yeah, I already said to myself, I'm not going to be talking to you on Tuesday, probably.
Maybe not. I have a family member taking care of the sheep and the chickens and the ducks and the geese. And so it'll be a good trip.
And on that note, if you're listening to our show and you're loving it, head on over to Apple Podcast and leave us a written review. It does amazing things for the growth of our show. While you're there, hit that subscribe button. They count them. And would you ever want to miss the fun of the last 5 years? Really?
Yes.
If you would?
I just wanted to say that because you asked the question. If you're looking for other ways to help support the show, you can tell a few chicken, duck, or goose loving friends about us. You can share your favorite episodes on social media. You can become a patron of the show, patreon.com/coffeewiththechickenladies. A gigantic thank you to every single one of our patrons. And the other thing you can do to help support the show is visit our website and our show notes, use our affiliate links and discount codes, and buy products from our sponsors.
Yay! You know what I love when it's 95 degrees outside?
Being inside.
Well, that too, but I really love cleaning my igloo chicken coop.
Yeah, it is so easy to clean. You don't have to break a sweat.
And you can use a water hose or pressure washer, so it doubles as a cool down. I also love those run covers.
Oh man, the shade is superb. I go into the run to cool off.
Yep, my flock's covered during the heat of the day, just chilling.
Meanwhile, we're melting on the patio. Seriously, can we get in on this amazing coop design for ourselves?
They're out there living the dream.
So when it's pushing 100 degrees, the right setup matters.
That's why we choose an igloo.
Get your girls their own just in time for summer.
Search Omelette. That's OMLET.
Hey, Chris.
Yeah.
Do you like monthly subscriptions?
Does it have anything to do with chickens?
Of course.
Then yeah. Let us take a minute to tell you about Chicken Love.
You get a monthly Chicken Lady tea, treats for your flock, and a keeper care card.
And did you know with every multi-month subscription, you get a free Chicken Love logo t-shirt?
Really?
Yeah.
It's $36 a month with free shipping.
What are you waiting for? Get off the nest and click already. That's chickenlove.com. That's chickenluv.com. Get your subscription today.
The Breed Spotlight is brought to you by Murray McMurray Hatchery, defining quality for generations. For over a century, Murray McMurray Hatchery has remained a trusted family-owned business, working tirelessly to ensure our poultry meet the highest standards.
Whether you are an experienced enthusiast or just embarking on the journey, look to McMurray Hatchery for guaranteed quality, rare and heritage breeds, low minimums, and all the supplies you need to raise your flock. Request a free catalog today. It's the same one I use every time.
So we know it's
that we do a Mediterranean for the Breed Spotlight. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
you just took me straight to a gondola in Venice.
I use the same one because it's the only thing I know.
Or maybe
I can
or
hum.
Is that music like? I'm not sure. Is that music definitely Italian or is it like, you know, French bistro accordion music? Which one is it?
It's either or. I don't know, but it
both.
takes me to Italy. So today is a really big breed spotlight that we're going to do because it's a popular chicken again.
And we've not done this for a few years. So today we're doing the Leghorn.
Yes, this is one of our favorite breeds that we love. We love the Leghorn.
And they're one of the best known chickens in the world. And I would argue the best known of the Mediterranean class. Now, we have got a lot of new listeners. Welcome. But just a quick definition in case you don't know. When we talk about a class of chicken, we're talking about the American Poultry Association classification.
Right.
And the groups are English, American, Asiatic, which is Brahma, Cochin, Langshan, and then the Mediterranean birds, which are countries that border the Mediterranean. Occasionally, we'll use those classes for a bird that's not APA accepted, but that's because they're from the same geography.
Right.
In this instance, Leghorns are Mediterranean breed.
100%.
Now, the Mediterraneans as a class are relatively light-bodied chickens. They're known for their excellent laying, their non-setting, which means they usually don't go broody, active nature, foraging skills, and they're usually very heat hardy. Like we said, they come from countries bordering the Mediterranean Sea. That includes Italy, Sicily, and Spain. We're going to talk a little bit about, like the Rhode Island Red, the Leghorn split into different lines. But the heritage lines of Leghorn have moved to the recovering category on the Livestock Conservancy's conservation priority list. So that's great news.
That is great news. That is wonderful news. And they're great little birds.
Leghorns are definitely a very old breed of chicken, at least several hundred years old, but it is hard to pinpoint just how old. We know they were present in continental Europe by the 1800s, where they were generally known as Italians.
I'm used to hearing that.
Right. They would have been an excellent chicken to travel or migrate with for a bunch of reasons. The first Leghorns to arrive in America were the brown Leghorn. They were brought to a port in Connecticut in 1852. White Leghorns arrived the next year in 1853 at Boston Harbor. By this time, they were generally called Leghorns, and the name is derived from the Genoese port of Livorno.
Now, we did the Leghorn in our first 4 episodes. That's how popular this chicken is.
Mm-hmm.
And we still laugh about
Livorno.
Ligorno. Like if I had a rooster, I would name him Ligorno and be calling him all around the yard. Well, I got a rooster, but he's Polish. So
I have a Leghorn rooster.
Ligorno.
I have a Leghorn rooster. He is not Ligorno. His name is Giorgio Armani, but I often call him lots of other colorful things.
Yes, but I was going to say, I would love to have named a rooster Ligorno, but not a Polish one.
You're young yet. You might have a Leghorn rooster at some point. Now, the Leghorn was instantly popular with Americans due to their hardiness, their foraging ability, and the outstanding egg production, which cannot be overemphasized. 20 years later, this is interesting. This is usually the reverse. So 20 years later, they were exported to the UK from the US.
Yeah. This was one that we sent over to the UK.
Right. And now the UK breeders decided they were going to improve the Leghorn by breeding Minorcas into the lines to increase the size.
What happens, though, with that is and they don't really need this because they don't get too hot, but the bigger the chicken, the harder it is to stay cool. So there's certain reasons why chickens are the way they are.
It was generally, as we're talking about the 1800s, it was generally looked upon as an improvement, even though now we put improvement in quotes because we know that the regional differences and characteristics of these breeds are important. But at the time, in both the US and the UK, it was very common. It was considered good farming. The Jacob sheep is a really good example. American Jacob sheep are small and like kind of wild, like I have. But Jacob sheep in the UK are a much bigger sheep.
I feel like in a more calm climate where temperatures don't go super hot, super cold, that does work. But when you have animals that are bred for heat or cold, to mess with the size does mess with their ability to be able to adapt to those areas.
And honestly, I often prefer them in their more primitive forms before the quote unquote improvement, but that's personal taste.
Yeah, I think that is personal taste. But over here, they're better smaller because it gets hot in the summer. So
now, our good friend, poultry writer Lewis Wright, he imported and bred Leghorns himself. He was a huge fan. He wrote a lot about them. It's just funny to me that they were importing them to the UK from the US. It's just so unusual to see that happen.
It is, but sometimes those things are strange and they do happen. So
Leghorns were accepted by the APA and they appeared in the Standard of Perfection's first printing in 1874. Let's just put this out there. Leghorns have a lot of possible colors. Most people are used to seeing white, maybe the brown. They come in a ton of colors. Now,
let's go through them.
The first colors admitted by the APA in 1874 were single comb, black,
white,
and brown. Now, the breeders and fanciers got to work right away, and by 1883, there were rose comb versions of the brown admitted. Over the next 100 years, 16 different varieties of Leghorn were admitted to the American Poultry Association Standard of Perfection. Those colors include black,
light and dark brown,
white,
buff,
silver,
black-tailed red,
Colombian,
and golden, which would be beautiful.
Yes. Plus, there are other non-APA colors available. These include the red Leghorn,
the cuckoo,
the Isabel,
The millefleur.
and the absolutely gorgeous Exchequer Leghorn, which is a mottled bird.
Oh, yeah.
There are also bantam versions of Leghorns, and they are extremely popular as showbirds.
They're cute.
They're adorable. But how many Leghorn bantams did we see?
A Leghorn is already a small chicken, and then you get a tiny version of a small chicken. I mean, they're even cuter. They're pretty
adorable.
small. I will say, though, my Lou is 5 pounds, so she's pretty good size for a Leghorn.
It's a good weight. That's her middle age weight. She's settled in. Now, in the 1900s, Leghorns had started being moved into industrial settings. They were bred for even higher production, if you can believe that. And they were also used heavily as parent stock for the newly developed industrial hybrid layers. After the 2 world wars, the heritage lines experienced the same kind of decline that almost every other heritage breed went through. Production lines, however, again, primarily white, were used extensively in the creation of more hybrid laying hens. Leghorn breeders and lovers kept the true heritage lines alive until we got to the 1970s. There was a bigger move toward conservation breeding.
Yeah, which was short-lived. It's in the 80s, and then now we're back. So
I feel like, 70s, 80s, no, 90s edged back, early 2000s, no, and then we've slid back into it again. And let's hope we stay in it.
yeah, exactly. Now, let's look at the Leghorn themselves and see what they kind of look like. Everybody knows, you've heard of, what is it, Foghorn Leghorn?
Corn Leghorn.
I don't know. That little guy's out there, but he's pretty big. They make him big. So Leghorns have a straight comb and wattles, and they're large. Those combs flop over on most of the hens, or they stand straight up. Mediterraneans are known to have these big combs because of cooling purposes. And they're pretty impressive on the roos. That they want to impress their ladies because they're Italian.
We'll have
their
a
lovers.
massive amount of waddles for the shaking action.
Well, Italians known for the lovers, so
Ladies.
they
Look at my waddle.
Look at my waddle, man. They are really known for that upright tail. It is kind of a statement. The tail is so different than a lot of other chickens.
It's
the Mediterranean tail, it's distinct.
It's very jaunty too. It's really cute.
You're going to know it when you see it. It's so different than other tails. They have the yellow legs, the white earlobes, and those little small compact bodies because they're going to want to stay cool in the summer. And as we said earlier, they come in a wide variety of colors, and the roos are coming in at 5 to 6 pounds, and the hens around 4 pounds. So Lucy's like boy weight, but we've talked over all these years about Lucy and her great appetite, and she loves to eat. You know, everybody says Leghorns don't have to eat as much to survive, which is true, but not that they don't like to eat. They like to eat, for sure.
There's a big difference between not needing a lot of food and not eating a lot of food.
She's a foodie.
She is a foodie. She's a chow hound.
She loves it. And she actually really loves oatmeal. That's one of her favorites.
Both of my Leghorn hens are champion eaters. I mean, their food boob at the end of the day is monumental.
Oh, yeah. So the other thing that they're good eaters. They are outstanding layers. Now, I cannot say that with enough emphasis. Outstanding. They are probably one of the best in the entire world for laying. Often 5+. Lucy's had 7 eggs a week sometimes.
Wow.
Large and sometimes extra large eggs. White eggs. Okay. So I mean, they're a little chicken with a big egg. Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, historically, these hens have been selected as layers, so hens rarely go broody. So if you don't want somebody that's going to go broody, the Leghorn is your chicken. But there have been exceptions. I have never really seen or heard of it, but I'm sure there's a Leghorn somewhere that sat on a nest.
I know of 2 people who have Leghorn hens who have gone broody.
Oh.
Now, they also had other broody hens because I think the broodier your flock is, the broodier it gets.
Oh, yeah. They're syncing up.
But in general, they're not going to go broody on you.
Now, if you want to hatch your Leghorn eggs, you're going to need an incubator or an Orpington or Salmon Favreau's or somebody that's... I'll tell you what you need. You need one of my Cochins because they are so broody. You need Francesca for yourself.
My Jersey Giants had the broody gene. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Well, no, my Jubilee... You know what? My most persistent broodies have been my Jubilee Orpingtons, I think. No, I take that back. It's Delphinium, the blue Langshan. She's my most persistent.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I think right now, historically, Josie was my most broody brood.
Buff
But if I had to look right now and say who, it's Francesca, the Silver Lace Cochin. She sat from mid-June till end of August.
Oh, jeez.
Could not break her until the weather got cooler. That's it. Now, these birds are still beloved by Americans and the rest of the world, too. I mean, they are just amazing birds.
They make excellent backyard chickens. They make good homestead birds, especially in the South. They're great additions to mixed flocks, and they are lovable pets if you put the time in with them. They have a reputation for flightiness. Now, flightiness is a strong survival instinct. People use that as a derogatory. It's not. It's a survival instinct. It does mean you need to account for it. Like if you need to keep your birds in, you might want to put a top on your run so they're not flying out on you. But
I mean, look at it this way. They are bright white chickens, usually. If they did not have that flightiness in them, they will be the first to be gotten because they are sticking out like a bullseye in a backyard.
So my Leghorns are a silver and a brown, and they don't stick out. But still, they're so light that when they take flight, I mean, they are gentle birds otherwise, though. They're excellent foragers. They're active and alert. They're some of my favorites to watch because they never stop moving.
I'm going to tell this tiny little story that Lucy had surgery. Was it right when we came back from England? Right around in there.
Yeah.
Where or was it? No, it wasn't right before. That was June. And she had an egg in her abdomen, an atopic egg. And I go to pick her up at Rebecca's and Dr. Rebecca's hospital, and everybody's like, we couldn't put her down. Like, she just wanted us to hold her the whole recovery.
I need some snuggles.
They said she was fine as long as we were holding her, and she just wanted to snuggle the entire recovery. So somebody just walked around with a Leghorn chicken strapped to him all afternoon.
That's Lucy.
That's Lou.
Like we said, they're fantastic layers. They do quite well in a mixed flock. They are, without a doubt, one of our favorite breeds. We love the Leghorns.
Now, with those Grand Combs and Wattles, they do, like we were saying before, very, very well in the heat. Not as cold hardy, because the combs turn around and they can get frostbitten much easier than, let's say, a salmon Faverolles. Faverolles that doesn't have very much comb. And in those cold areas, you can have a Leghorn, but they will need a heat panel. They will need something to help them, insulation, coop heat, be brought into a garage with a panel heater, something to help them with the cold.
It's a really good idea to put a thermometer in your coop and check it either like late at night or early in the morning and see what your lows are in there. If you have a big coop with a lot of birds, the temperature might stay high enough. But if not, you have got to guard that comb.
And the other thing is if you have a small coop with a lot of birds, it might too.
Right.
So, I mean, you have to really see.
Everyone's setup is different, but you do not want to risk the damage and pain that comes to a bird from frostbite.
So if a bird like her would get frostbite and lose her comb, what happens is she's not going to be able to regulate her body temperature nearly as well. On top of that whole entire process being entirely painful and really just a bad experience. So it's well worth it to take the time just to insulate or use the panel heaters.
Yeah, see what you need to do. Yeah. You can find Leghorns almost anywhere these days. I mean, they've become so much more common. We've started seeing brown Leghorns in our local farm supply stores, and most hatcheries will carry at least the white and the brown Leghorns. I will confess that my brown Leghorn, Donatella Versace, is my favorite of the Leghorns. I mean, I think that coloring is just really beautiful. But if you're trying to get an idea of what they look like, they're similar to a well summer.
Yeah, exactly. The brown Leghorns, no doubt. They're kind of have a partridge look, but with the white earlobes.
Yeah.
Where the well summers don't have the white earlobes.
Now, Sandhill Preservation Center has several colors available in straight run lots, including the black,
the barred,
the Millie Fleur,
and the Exchequer.
McMurray Hatchery has a pearl white production line. If you're interested in really high production, go with their pearl white.
The red.
And then the heritage lines, they have that red, they have silver.
And both straight and rose comb brown Leghorns. They're awesome.
If you're farther north and you're worried about that comb, you can go with the lower rose comb, they'll still need some protection from frost, but it won't be the same as that gigantic straight comb.
Exactly. Now, if you have the Leghorn, I know so many of you do out there, send us a message with a picture or put a story up, hit the mention button, put coffee with the chicken ladies in, and we will receive it and reshare. We've been getting a lot of cool pictures of your chickens lately, and I love resharing them on our storyboard. We love seeing them. It's great.
Are you ready to dive into the fascinating world of backyard ducks? Look no further than Metzer Farms, your premier destination for top quality waterfowl. Whether you're a seasoned breeder or just starting out, Metzer Farms has everything you need to elevate your flock to the next level. And if you're passionate about call ducks, you're in for a treat.
Metzer Farms hatches a stunning variety of call ducks, meticulously bred for their miniature size, beauty, and calm temperament. From snowy whites to vibrant colors, each duck is a masterpiece waiting to grace your backyard. Visit MetzerFarms.com today to browse their extensive selection and start your journey into the wonderful world of waterfowl. Metzer Farms, where passion meets perfection.
If you're looking for a chicken coop that's produced in a planet-friendly, sustainable way, try Nestera.
Each coop is made from highly durable, 100% recycled plastic that keeps the equivalent of up to 2,000 shampoo bottles out of a landfill.
Their clean, modern design will fit into any garden or run area and comes with an industry-beating 25-year warranty and a range of handy accessories.
Simple to put together, so quick and easy to clean, and most importantly, red mite resistant. Your chickens will love it.
Quick shipping from Nestera US.
For a 5% discount, use the affiliate link in our show notes, on our website, and on Instagram. Link in bio. Check them out today. Okay, so are we ready to move on to main topic? Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, this week's main topic is just us, and it's a little more of an anatomy main topic because we are firm believers in if you have a chicken, knowing the anatomy and what you're dealing with will help you be able to be the best chicken keeper that you can be. Because if something goes down or something goes wrong, you got to know what you're dealing with. And if you're not educated on it, it's hard. It's hard to know.
And it's molting season, so we thought it was really appropriate to look at the skin and then integumentary system again, because just like every other creature out there, the skin is the biggest organ in the body.
Yeah.
We think, we're nerds, but we think the integumentary system of the chicken is fascinating.
Speak for yourself, lady. We're not nerds.
Yeah, we are. The entire system is comprised of the skin, but also the feathers, the claws, the beaks, and the glandular system. We are mostly going to be talking about the skin and the glands, but the whole system provides really important functions. And like you were saying, it is a source of rich information about your chicken's health.
Yes. I mean, look at it this way. If you look at the comb is part of its skin, you know? You're looking at the color of it. If you look at the body, you want to know, are the feathers healthy? Are they falling out? Why? Are there bugs on the skin? Is there sore? You have to kind of know where it all starts.
The integumentary system also protects your chicken from the elements, allows them to sense danger and changes in the atmosphere. It provides insulation, controls feather replacing through molting, and it basically lets them do all of the things that chickens need to do.
You need something to keep everything in, and that's the skin.
The feathered skin. And the reason we're emphasizing feathered skin is because chickens have two layers of skin. They have a thin dermis that's the inside layer, and then a thicker epidermis that forms the outer layer. Both levels are mostly made up of collagen, elastin, and keratin.
That keratin,
right?
Getcha.
Then there's a sublayer beneath the dermis called the hypodermis, and this is the area where lipids and fat cells are stored.
Now, the thicker epidermis is where a lot of that action is going to happen. This outer skin contains feather follicles that generate new feather growth during the molt and or injury and or post-brood, all of those things. So the feather emerges from the skin via the feather follicle with nerve and blood supply intact and connected to the dermis. They will die back once the feather is fully emerged and unfurled. So once it all comes out, that blood will come back and you won't have to worry about if a feather breaks there, them bleeding. They do have sometimes they can bleed from a feather, but it's not going to be terrible. Usually It's not. To us, it may look like feathers are just popping out. Now, Holly Ann calls it willy-nilly a lot. She uses
My grandmother said willy-nilly.
Holly Ann uses willy-nilly or, like just everywhere. But there is, if you really look, there is a process. But the follicles are actually attached to precise tracts of skin, and different tracts may grow different types of feather. Now, when you look at that chicken, there is a process during molt. It usually starts from back of head to tail.
Yeah, and it is groups. Like it's a particular, like all the wing feathers or all the neck feathers or something like that. Yeah.
Exactly.
Unlike mammals, avian skin does not contain sweat glands or sebaceous glands. Chickens don't sweat and their skin does not secrete oil.
They're part of the dog family. Dogs don't sweat either.
What they do have is a uropygial gland, which secretes oil, and they use that for their preening.
Oh, yeah. I was watching Rosemary yesterday. She was working that little gland. I saw the oil coming out of it. It was actually kind of cool.
They catch it on their beak, and then they run it with feathers. And they don't need to waterproof themselves with it the way ducks and geese do, but it does coat the feathers and keep them healthy. Yeah.
Now, I was talking about this before. We always do, but facial, like the comb, the wattles, the earlobe skin, all that is part of the skin system. Its skin on these appendages has two roles. It helps chickens release heat and regulate body temperature, which you're going to hear us talk about a lot. And it provides a display. That's what I was talking about. This can let you know if, say, they have a parasite load that's very large and robbing them of nutrients. Those comb and wattles may be pale. Or if they're molting and not laying, those comb and wattles may be pale and not bright red like they are when they're laying. Now, things like sexual maturity and even basic health is evident in these things. So look at them. Paleness, floppy comb. It can be a sign of dehydration. And like I said, a host of health problems.
Now, the beak and the toenails are primarily keratin, and they both have blood vessels and nerves right under the surface. Like, think of your own fingernail. If you cut too far down, you get the quick.
Right.
Their toenails and their beak are the same. These things allow your chicken to explore their world. They eat, they bathe, they defend themselves, etc. That's what beak and claws are for. Broken beaks and toenails can be injured, and they will need first aid if they're injured severely enough. Chickens doing chicken stuff is usually enough to keep the beaks and the nails trimmed, but, your mileage may vary. If you have house chickens or senior chickens, you may have to trim or file them, but again, watch those veins and nerves. If you're unsure, you can ask a vet. They usually have a tech do the trimming. But in cases of injury, you want to try to trim any excess off that might get snagged.
So here I have another, believe it or not, Lucy story, and you were a part of this, and it fits right in with this. We were on the phone. Lucy's all over this episode, man. She's 6 and she's what I call the frequent flyer. She's been to the vets a lot. So You and I were on the phone. We were working, and I went back to check them, and she was bleeding, and the toenail was broken. She had a cut, like it was either on the toe or the nail, and she was really bleeding a lot. So the first thing I tried to do is stop the bleeding, bandage the toe. But here's the thing, the toe died, and she had to have it amputated. So that all kind of started with the nail bed and the toe and that skin.
Yeah.
So you have to watch. Lucy, she's given me a lot of examples for today.
Well, Lou's a special chicken. And the reason we said if you're unsure about trimming, ask the vet to do it, because obviously toenails bleed like crazy.
Right. And if they're dark, you can't tell. But if they're...
It's much harder. But with the beak, if you trim that too short, it's really painful because it's loaded with nerves.
Oh, yeah. Even the toes are, too. That quick can really hurt if you cut that vein. And
I was taking her... I had Esther, who was a house chicken, and I took her to Rebecca for a beak trim. And she showed me exactly how to do it.
Yeah.
So that I did it myself after that. But if you're not comfortable, they're happy to do it for you.
I do it on my own with mine. And it is kind of in the same premise of the toenails. You just want to take the very tip off. Sometimes when you're doing the toenails, if you take the sharp point off and you can see where it's starting to get thicker, you don't want to go near that area. So
just keep bloodstop powder on hand if you're doing toenails. And
if you don't have that, cornstarch is said to work also in a pinch. If
it'll
you
work
need
in
that.
a pinch,
So the skin on the feet and the legs, A lot of scientists think that the scales on chickens' legs and feet are leftovers from guess who?
Their reptilian or dinosaur ancestors.
Oh, yeah. That's kind of funny. Like, oh, here we go. They have something. So
well, think about it.
Yeah.
Think about it. A lot of birds have the scales. Yeah.
They're mostly like formed from the keratin. Now, keratin is one of the bigger factors when it comes to the stuff that the chickens need and have on their bodies. It's really important. And they are attached to the skin of the epidermis and carry all the way down a chicken's lower leg and on top of their toes. It's kind of like a little armor to me. It's nice.
It actually is, yeah.
Yeah.
The bottom of the chicken's foot is a thicker skin that has evolved to withstand pressure from the bird's weight and to minimize abrasions and injury. Now, if scales aren't smooth on the leg, treat for scaly leg mite.
Yeah.
You can start with Vaseline or coconut oil, just get it up under those scales.
Yep.
If you continue to see issues, you might need to treat with ivermectin, but...
Okay, so let's go through the glands, too. There are 2 types of glands located in the skin of the chickens. One at the base of the spine, which is you say it?
Uropygial gland.
And one in the skin of the outer ear.
The preen gland, or uropygial gland, is located above the last vertebrae on the chicken's back, and it's around the size of a pea. There are 2 lobes to it, and there's a duct in the skin directly above it. And the duct, they stimulate the duct with their beak, and it releases a fatty substance that your chickens use to coat her feathers as she preens. A chicken who isn't preening herself will start to look unwell, and she may need an exam to determine why she isn't preening and if she needs extra care. Plus, sometimes the uropygial gland itself can get blocked.
Yeah, I mean,
keep an eye out for inflammation there.
A chicken who isn't cleaning herself can have a host of problems. There can be a lot of different problems, but easy one could be something with the gland, all the way up to she's got major problems and she just does not feel well enough to preen. So this is why we want you to know about the skin and all the things that it can tell you about the health of your chicken, because it's important. We like teaching anatomy. We do.
We actually do a lot. Our friends at Good Eggs solved the age-old question of how should I wash my eggs?
They're chicken people just like us who created the original silicone egg scrubber.
Both Chrissy and I use their brush and natural enzyme wash every time.
It's a total game changer.
It makes cleaning eggs so much faster and easier. Plus, they have a lifetime guarantee.
Good Egg is a small family business right here in the U.S., and they donate 10% of all profit directly to folks affected by cancer.
Go check them out at goodeggstuff.co.
That's goodeggstuff.co. Tell them Chrisie&Holly sent you. So, are we ready to move on to
cracking the eggs?
Cracking those eggs. Now, it is September, so it is apple month.
Well, you said that you wanted a recipe that was custard and apples together.
Yes.
So, I have made this for you.
Yes. You bringing them over tomorrow?
If I suddenly get several more hours in this day, I will. They're actually very easy and quick to make. They probably look a little fancier than they are, and it is the delicious mix of custard and apple together.
Yeah, I love the egg custards, and then you put apple in with it. Doesn't get any better.
It's
okay,
delicious.
So let's go through the ingredient list. We're looking at 1 1/4 cups of whole milk or creamy plant-based milk, 4 large eggs at room temperature, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract, 1/2 cup of granulated sugar, 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg, 1/2 teaspoon of cardamom. Those are those autumn fall spices right there. 1/2 cup of all-purpose flour or gluten-free flour, 1-to-1. 3 medium apples peeled and very thinly sliced. They have to be thin. Powdered sugar for sifting over the bars, because powdered sugar, everything tastes a lot better with powdered sugar. It just does.
I will confess that I also put some whipped cream on top because it was just like gilding the lily. You're going to preheat your oven at 375 degrees Fahrenheit, and you want to grease or spray an 8x8-inch baking dish. In a large mixing bowl, you're going to put all of the ingredients except the apples. Just put everything in there at once. Whisk it until it's well combined. Add those apples. Pour it into the baking dish. You do want to make sure the apples are reasonably well distributed, not like they're all mashed on one side. You're going to bake this for about 30 minutes or until the top is golden brown, puffed up, and the center is set. Allow the bars to cool completely, and really you should wait until they're chilled before slicing. I'm not going to judge you if you decide to eat them right away, but they are best chilled.
Joe always says he wants everything warm first, so he would be one that could not wait.
You have to scoop them out with a spoon if you don't wait for them to cool. But, again, you do you. Top with that sifting of powdered sugar, a little bit of whipped cream, whatever makes you happy. Serve and enjoy. This is easy and it's very fall.
Everything's fall right now. I am loving pre-fall and fall. It's great.
It's amazing. It really is.
So try it. You might like it. Let us know what you think. Use those eggs and apples.
Yeah.
They're in season. Do everything that's in season because you got a lot of it. Okay, so let's move on to retail therapy. Retail therapy. Yeah. This week's retail therapy, we were talking the other day and we were like, what's something like simple that we haven't really done? And I think we have or we haven't. I don't even know, but fancy egg cartons are a thing.
We have talked about fancy egg cartons before, but it's been a few years. And this is just a reminder that if you do a little digging, you can get some really, really nice cartons, including special cartons for ducks and more importantly for goose eggs, if you do a little digging.
Well, couldn't let that go without saying goose and ducks.
No. Do you know me?
Yes, I do.
Well, there you go.
So the thing I like about egg cartons is you can get plain egg cartons and decorate them yourself. If you're like me and you, we gift eggs a lot. We don't sell our eggs, we gift them. And sometimes I like having an egg carton that either shows off the eggs or something special because I've put a lot of work into my chickens and a lot of love. And I want the eggs to kind of be a gift of, I give them to people that really mean something to me,
Absolutely. Yeah.
So that one's cool. It's a different shape, but does that hold 12?
Yeah, I think so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, it's 12. So this is an octagonal shape egg carton.
Yeah. Yeah, you could put stickers on the top. If you have kids, you can let them decorate and make them fancy for you. Like having, instead of a drawing to put on the fridge, let them draw on that egg carton, their space, a picture for somebody that you care about, and they'll treasure it as much as you love giving them the eggs.
You can also get eggs that, like the top of them, have vintage things on them.
They're so cool.
Most of these we're seeing on Etsy.
You can go to Etsy. Now, there's even on Temu, believe it or not, they have fancy egg cart. Yeah.
We should sign up for that influencer thing they sent us then.
Everybody, don't buy your egg carton until we sign up. The egg carton store is somebody that we've worked with in the past. They actually do have fancy egg cartons. People can create stamps for your fancy egg cartons. I like the different color ones. Those green ones you just pulled up are really pretty.
So these are, most of what we're looking at is on Etsy. So these are Crawford Homestead, and they are green. They're not quite square. They're like rectangular.
Yeah.
And they have vintage chickens on the top. They also have vintage print goose.
Laid in the USA.
It's 8. They don't just have the laid in the USA there. They have a couple of other prints.
Yeah, they have other prints.
This one with the goose on is a Sebastopol. You can put 8 eggs in the goose carton.
Yeah.
And there are several other small businesses like this that have these really nice vintage or different shaped cartons.
Yeah, Etsy's going to be your friend for finding people who will make a carton especially for you, basically with creating a sticker to put on it or a stamp.
Labels. You can labels.
Right. You can either buy the stamp and do it yourself, or they can do it for you. But there are a lot of choices out there. Oh, I just found some, believe it or not, on Amazon that are heart shaped. Now that's cool.
That's interesting.
The carton is heart shaped.
Huh.
See? And it doesn't hold very many. It holds 3.
Okay.
But this is something that you just maybe want to do as I always say a dinner party favor. If you have like a few friends coming over for dinner and you want to give everybody a little party favor to go home with, 3 eggs and a heart-shaped carton is super cute.
That's a fun little idea. That's your Galentine's Day theme right there.
There you go. There you go. So yeah, look for all these kind of fancy ones out there. There's a lot of choices. So should we tell everybody what we're going to be talking about next week?
Next week, we are spotlighting. I've recently looked this chicken up again, and we both looked at the photos and lost our minds because it's so stinking cute. And that is the Scott's Dumpy.
Oh, the short-legged chicken. Yes.
Yes. Main topic is a little unusual. Hugh and Fiona Osborne from English Country Life are joining us, and we're talking about fall on the homestead, which is super busy. And we actually don't even talk about chickens that much. We're talking about all the other things that go on. It's a great conversation.
Yeah, it was fun.
Cracking the eggs, apple breakfast bake.
Yummy. Apples.
Yes. And then retail therapy, we're going to talk about wire garden cloches that you use to guard your carefully tended plants from marauding poultry.
And you will need these. So what should we tell everybody to do until next week?
Hug your chickens, ducks, and geese.
Every day and kiss them too. We'll talk to you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
If you'd like to see more of us, please follow us on Instagram at Coffee with the Chicken Ladies. If you'd like to help us grow the podcast, please leave us a written review on Apple Podcasts. If you'd like to become a patron of the show, please visit our Patreon page, patreon.com/Coffee with the Chicken Ladies. Thanks for listening.